Hello, Alaska. Today is Friday morning before the 4th of July recess, and I want to spend a few minutes talking to you about what we're doing here in the Senate as it relates to health care. We are anticipating another draft bill sometime as early as today. I'd like to update you on the first Senate draft and what I'm looking for in any revised legislation. First, I want you to know that I've heard from thousands of you here in D.C. in meetings across Alaska, numerous town halls over the last several months about health care and other issues. Of course, as all of you know, this is not an easy issue. Our health care system is complex and vitally important, but also very personal to Alaskans. I've listened to your concerns, and they're shaping how I'm approaching this bill and what I'll be pushing for in the final version of any health care reform coming out of Congress. Specifically, I'm working on provisions that will help stabilize Alaska's insurance market, start to reverse the dramatic spike in health insurance costs for individuals and small businesses we've seen, and provide an equitable and sustainable path forward for Medicaid. To be clear, with regard to the current legislation before the Senate, more work needs to be done to address high costs and to try to ensure that people, both on Medicaid and in the individual market, don't have the rug pulled out from under them. I will continue working on this going forward, and if provisions that address Alaska's unique structural challenges and very high costs are not included in the next draft bill, I will continue to fight to make sure that they're part of any final legislative package. Also, the Affordable Care Act placed close to $1 trillion of new taxes and strangulating regulations on our economy. The taxes that drive up our health care costs, like the so-called Cadillac tax, should be repealed, or at minimum delayed. But others, like taxes that were placed on investment income, should not be repealed in this bill. The current Senate bill has many provisions that Alaskans actually have been calling for, and I've been pressing for these provisions as well. First and foremost, the individual and employer mandates would be repealed in that bill. The bill is also estimated by the CBO to lower premiums by 30% within 3 years, which would of course be welcome relief to Alaska. This bill continues coverage for people with pre-existing conditions, allows dependents to stay on their parents' policies until they are 26 years old, and does not make any changes to annual lifetime coverage limits. It significantly increases funding to community health centers. And as many of you know, more than 10% of all community health centers in America are in Alaska, serving over 100,000 Alaskans. And this bill also boosts funding for opioid addiction and mental health treatment, an issue that I've been very focused on over the last 2 years. In fact, I raised just this week with the President, the Vice President, and the Senate leadership the fact that we need even more funding for this issue, for this epidemic, in the next draft bill, and I hope to see that. While many Americans have received coverage since the Affordable Care Act was enacted, it is often not affordable. Our costs in Alaska have spiraled out of control. In the last 4 years, insurance premiums in Alaska on the individual market have gone up by more than 200%, averaging over $1,000 a month in premiums for just one individual Alaskan. That's the highest in the nation by far. The director of Alaska's Division of Insurance said before the Senate that our market is in chaos. Bottom line, the current system is not sustainable for Alaskan individuals, families, and small businesses. The overall goal that I'm focused on with regard to health care reform is to have adequate resources, support, and safeguards from D.C. to the state to address our unique challenges, while giving Alaska's governor and state legislature the flexibility and the authority to address our challenges in an Alaskan-specific way. not with a one-size-fits-all mandate from Washington, D.C., which has been the hallmark of the Affordable Care Act. I will continue to press Senate and White House leadership to ensure that these goals are addressed. I look forward to continuing to dig into the draft legislation coming out of the Senate and to fight for Alaska's interests. Overall, I will not vote for anything that makes things worse for Alaskans. This 4th of July, I'll be on the Yukon River with my family, enjoying the rugged beauty of the interior, one of the most special places on the earth. I hope you too have a safe and joyous 4th of July with your family. Thank you.